Hi, my name is 𝗕𝗲𝗏𝗃. My wife Sonia was diagnosed with Alzheimer's in January 2020 at the age of 65. I had seen so many family caregivers suffer physically, emotionally, and psychologically, sometimes to the point where their health deteriorated faster than the loved ones they were caring for. I was determined not to let this disease take me down as well, and it didn't. I won the battle, and you can too. Watch this short video to the end for more details. We often hear people say, be present, or live in the now. But how often do we actually do that, especially as caregivers? If you're like me, you might catch your thoughts drifting to what happened yesterday or 5 years ago. Or you start worrying about what could happen next month, next year, or even tomorrow. But I've come to realize something vital. The only thing we truly have is this moment in time, right here, right now. When I think about Sonia, her needs, her challenges, and her moments of confusion, I also think about how precious each interaction can be. Whether that's holding her hand while we walk around the block, giving her medication on schedule, or even just sitting quietly next to her while she rests. Those moments are fleeting, but so meaningful. I remind myself, these are the memories I'm going to hold on to. These are the little gifts the present moment offers. I know it's easy, especially for caregivers, to dwell on what we could have done differently in the past. Perhaps we regret not noticing certain symptoms earlier, or we blame ourselves for not being patient enough at some point. And then, of course, there's the future, this big unknown that can feel scary. Will her condition worsen soon? How will I handle more complicated caregiving tasks? But as I keep reminding myself, the past has already happened and the future isn't here yet. All the planning and worrying in the world can't change that simple truth. So what do we do instead? We focus on the now. This might sound easy, but it can be surprisingly challenging. When I'm taking a walk with Sonia, for instance, I try to notice everything around us, the color of the sky, the sound of her footsteps, her facial expressions. I pay attention to her body language, her mood, and her energy level. When I'm giving her medication, I slow down. I don't just rush through it as another chore on my to-do list. I take a moment to reassure her, maybe offer a gentle smile or a calming word. When we're simply sitting side by side, I remind myself to put my phone away or turn off the TV so I can really be with her. But let me be honest, it's not always easy. My mind wanders constantly. One moment I'm fully present and the next I'm lost in thoughts of what if or why did I do that? That's part of being human. We all have this habit of letting our minds drift. And it's not just about random daydreams. Sometimes it's negative thoughts or worries that pop up. Maybe I'll remember a time I lost my patience with Sonia, or I'll start feeling anxious about what's to come. Here's the thing, negative thoughts will arise. They're natural. But what's helped me tremendously is learning not to fight or suppress them. Instead, I try to observe them. It's almost like watching a leaf float by on a stream. You notice it, acknowledge that it's there, and then let it continue on its way. In other words, you don't have to jump in the water and chase it. You just let it pass. This approach, called mindfulness, has allowed me to see my thoughts for what they really are, fleeting, not set in stone, not absolute truths. When I recognize that, it becomes easier to let go of the ones that don't serve me, especially the ones that make me feel guilty or anxious. For instance, let's say I'm feeling guilty because I snapped at Sonia when she was confused, or maybe I was impatient when she asked me the same question for the 10th time. I might carry that guilt around, replaying the moment over and over in my head. But now, instead of letting that guilt take over, I try to catch it before it snowballs. I pause, take a breath, and say, I'm feeling guilty. That's okay. It's a normal human reaction. By simply naming the emotion, guilt, or buddy, or whatever you want to call it, I allow it to exist without letting it consume me. This small practice helps that guilt drift away more naturally. Over time, I've noticed that acknowledging my emotions, whether it's guilt, frustration, or sadness, actually frees me from them faster. It also keeps me anchored in the present with Sonia rather than getting lost in my own worries. After all, if I'm stuck in my head, I'm not really there with her, and I know how much she depends on my presence, my empathy, and my love. That's why I keep coming back to this truth. The only thing we really have is the present. No matter how much we regret the past or fear the future, all we can really experience is now. The past is unchangeable, and the future is uncertain. Yes, it's wise to plan for what's ahead, but not at the cost of missing out on the life we're living right at this moment. So if you're a caregiver, or simply someone who wants to be more present for a loved one, my advice is to start by focusing on the now. The first step might be as simple as taking a few deep breaths when you find your mind racing. Or you might gently shift your attention to your immediate surroundings. What do you see? What do you hear? What can you feel under your fingertips? Sometimes these little grounding techniques are enough to pull us back into the present moment. From there, pay attention to how your loved one is feeling. Notice their expressions, their tone of voice, the subtle ways they try to communicate their needs. When you do this, you're not just performing a task, you're connecting with them on a human, emotional level, and that connection is incredibly meaningful, both for them and for you. Of course, you'll still catch your mind wandering. That's going to happen. But each time you notice it, gently bring yourself back to the now. No harsh self-criticism, no judgment, just a calm return to the moment. It's a practice, and like any practice, it takes patience and repetition. Over time, though, it becomes more natural. You begin to see that the present is not just a slice of time, it's an opportunity to nurture a deep bond with your loved one and to find peace within yourself too. Trust me, I know caregiving can be tough, and there are days when you feel like you're barely keeping your head above water. On those days, it's especially important to remember you're only human. You're going to have slip-ups. You're going to feel overwhelmed. Let those feelings surface. Acknowledge them, and then do your best to let them pass. The goal isn't to be perfect, it's to be present, and that's a much more attainable goal. When you're present, you give your loved one the attention they so deeply deserve, and you also give yourself a gift, the chance to find moments of genuine connection, even in the face of Alzheimer's or any other challenge. Those moments don't have to be grand or life-changing. They might just be a shared smile, a gentle touch, or a short conversation about the birds in the backyard, but each one is precious. So remember, the only thing we really have is the present. The past is behind us, and the future is beyond our immediate reach. If you can, take a few seconds right now and just breathe. Notice what's around you. Notice how your body feels. Then bring that mindset into your time with your loved one. They deserve it, and you deserve it too. As promised at the beginning, Sonia's journey became the inspiration for a course I created called caregivermasterycourse.com. It's a roadmap to help family caregivers find their heaven island. That's what I call it. That's the place where you can finally let go of the stress, the guilt, the anger, and the resentment that caregiving often stirs up. It's a place of peace, acceptance, and clarity. A state of mind where you can be the caregiver your loved one needs while protecting your own health and well-being. You get all the wisdom without any of the scars. Click on the link or just go to caregivermasterycourse.com. New videos are posted every Monday and Thursday. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, share it with someone who might need it, and don't forget to subscribe for more tips. Until next time.